So, Michael,
So,
very nice to meet you.
nice to meet you
It's
too.
a long way from The Wire now that and you're directing. You have been working with a lot of great directors. You know, there's a lot of great of them. What's the best advice and the worst advice that you have applied on this Creed 3?
The best advice? I think the best advice for me is, especially because I was acting, directing, I think it was to don't feel guilty for, in some moments, you're watching more than you're acting.
Okay.
You know, I think you're that's part of the superpower. I think being able to act and direct is I can direct while I act. You know, I can, so I think that ability, because I was wondering, in scenes, who's gonna yell cut, who's gonna stop it, who does that, and we found the rhythm. So I think some of the best advice was to don't feel guilty for, doing both jobs. And then also preparation, shot list, you know what I'm saying? Try to get as much, make a plan as best you can. And then for that plan, have a backup plan. And then have a backup plan for that backup plan. That was kind of the best advice I got.
You have said already in other interviews that Jay-Z is one cultural icon in the pop cultural
in culture
in general. And I know. Yes. Where do you think that Adonis will be in the cultural panorama around Jay-Z, Kanye, somewhere between?
It's difficult because Kanye is a real person, and Jay-Z is a real person, and Adonis is fictional. But I think as Adonis's legacy continues to grow, when we look back at it, not knowing where it's going to go, then we'll be able to answer that question. I think if he continues down his path, and being an example for the next generation, I think that's what it is. You lead by example. If Adonis continues to be a role model and continues to make an impact and inspires the youth, I think he'll be a cultural impact, a cultural icon.
When you see the movie and you see the reference in anime, Hajime, you see Naruto around the room of Adonis. What else do you think that inspired you to make this movie the way it is?
You mean besides anime?
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, tons of movies and films and personal relationships and dynamics and personal turmoil and just discovery, along with people that I know and their experiences and just life, bro. I think that's what the awesome thing about storytelling is, being able to take the things in the world that you see and how they inspire you and how they affect you and tell a story. So I think life inspired this movie.
Last question. This is your first movie directing, but you also made a commercial here in Mexico, Bacardi.
Bacardi commercials, right?
You remember that?
Yeah, I loved it. That was my first time here.
What do you remember about that experience?
It was a great experience. Paul Hunter is one of my mentors. He was a director. He started this company called Pretty Bird, and he helped produce the commercial that I did. And it was, it was great. It was in October, so it was the Day of the Dead, Dia de los Muertos was here. So there was nothing but skulls and art all over the place, and it was a beautiful city. I just remember driving through and taking a bunch of pictures. But it was a great experience.
Thank you very much for your time.
Man, appreciate it.